How about yourself?
Good. So
Good.
you ready? Yeah. Sorry about interrupting you, but
Hey.
you ready to start this interview?
Yeah, let's get it done.
All right. Hello, this is Rockin' with Shaman, and today we are going to be interviewing the legendary Into the A.M.
Sure.
How you doing, man?
What'd you say?
How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm excellent. Yeah, it's been a long day, but excited to interview with you. How are you?
Good. I heard you made a new song called In the Back Seats. It's a pretty nice song.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I started doing that probably about a year ago. I've been working on that one for quite some time, and it's pretty fun track. With COVID and everything, we kind of wanted to release something that made people get away from that mindset that COVID's brought to the world. So,
I've been in the back seat myself.
have you?
Yes. Can you tell my followers about the song?
Yeah, so it depends on what he wants to know. When it comes to most of the music that I put together, I write and record most of the instrumentals myself. So that involves guitar, bass, drums usually. I don't really I don't play the drums. I have a drummer and I kind of just direct him on what sounds best, and that's kind of how we operate. But this song's more like the fun track on the EP. All the rest are kind of a bit more serious and more aimed at mental health, more so than this one.
Do you have an album coming out?
Yes, yeah. There'll be an EP that drops, and every 5 weeks there'll be a new song released. So, like we had this one released on September 18th, and then 5 weeks another one will release, and the last song gets released December 4th.
Yeah, we need more songs out there during this sort of time.
Yeah, I understand. I'm working on it for you.
Did you wait to release until you can tour again?
Um, no, I kind of have put a hold on touring, which is odd. Touring is obviously really important, but I thought it would be a good idea just to record and just try to focus on that, and then put out the music and then tour afterwards.
Yeah, I get what you're saying because sort of this sort of time you need to like chill out and not do like a whole bunch of tours. You need to put the music in. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, 100%.
Uh, but but you what's that word? Wait, give me 1 second, please.
You're fine.
You recorded it.
But you recorded it this year, correct?
Actually, Backseat was recorded in 2019. So, it was recorded in September of last year. So this year marked a year since it's been actually recorded in the studio.
Did you have like trouble trying to post it or like?
Well, what happened is, so I started working with a new management label and management team, and we kind of just discussed, pushing it out and pushing it out and pushing it out, and then COVID came about, and it kind of made it a bad time to release music. So then we just decided, well, let's keep pushing it and pushing it, and finally we decided on September 18th as the most proper date to start. So
Not a bad idea.
no.
Was it scary using all your money to pay for it?
Um, it kind of is sometimes, especially at this level. Like we're starting to gain some traction, but I've been doing this a long time, so it's never really scary anymore. Now it's just something that I do, but this is the biggest push I've ever made, certainly in terms of the money that's being spent. So yeah, a little bit.
You sing and play most of all the instruments on the album. Is it because you wanted it to be perfect?
Yeah, I think so. It's really hard to bring people in to the studio, whether they play with you for a long duration of time or not, and get them to perform something how you want it to be performed, you know? And that's kind of selfish in music and writing, in a way, because, you know, people want to put their input in, but I feel like in most cases, people's input, isn't better than what I have in terms of the original writing. That's kind of why I do it that way. Not to say that in the future there won't be additions added in that people can come in and write freely. I just haven't found the creative edge I'm looking for yet in terms of other musicians.
Yeah, because you want to make people listen to your song like a lot. Because we need like really good music out here now. Because we really don't really have that much to do except for just watch movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. And I just want to make the best music. I think the goal is to make something that's going to last. Let's make it last a while. Like why? What's the point in putting out a song that people are going to listen to 3 times and then it's going to just disappear? you know?
I get that.
Yeah.
Do you have a band now, or do you just have that drummer?
Right now it's really I've been working with my drummer for a long time. I've last year we toured for like 6 months. Don't currently have an actual like band put together. I'm kind of rebuilding it from scratch. I think COVID really put a stop to most touring, and I just want to get back to that point where we're playing really great shows like every weekend. Every day we can. We just come out and lay down a great set. So we're getting there.
Yeah, hopefully in the future you can find three dudes that are pretty good at instruments and you're pretty good friends with them. Let's hope that in the future.
Yeah, that's important. I'll say that if you're gonna go on tour with somebody, you better be good friends with them because they're gonna get on your nerves. For sure.
I know you struggling with depression and anxiety, and it goes into your music.
Yeah, very much so. That's probably pretty much the main reason for putting out this EP. I think it was kind of like a coping mechanism. I went through like a pretty rough time last year, and I think this was a good way to kind of let that out. The other songs, like I said, are a lot more serious, so you'll definitely hear it, and everyone else will hear it as well. Just the influence that went behind it and made what it is.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea for like letting out all your emotions. And besides, people like that, putting all your emotion in and putting emotions into your song.
Yeah, I think you're right. I wanted to add some depth. Like a lot of the stuff you hear nowadays is very plain Jane. There's not much substance. I think that's the goal, is to take some substance and bring it to like some catchy melodies. Get something to get stuck in your head. Maybe even kind of bring back that early 2000s rock sound, but modernize it a bit.
Do your fans ever reach out who are going through the same things?
Oh yeah. That's one of the coolest parts about it. That's a good question. Yeah, they do, and I think that when somebody can relate to the music, and then they tell you about it, that's probably one of the coolest feelings. You know, Even if you just help one person with a song, just getting through a rough time, I think that your job's pretty well done.
Yeah, you never know when you do that. When your fans do that, you can find your best friend ever.
Yeah, for sure, and make some cool connections along the way.
It has to be a good feeling helping so many people with your music.
Oh, it is. It's one of my favorite things. I think, like I said, that's kind of the whole goal, is to grow this and um, get a fan base of people who are emotionally invested in the music rather than just listening to it because they have free time. Or, not that I don't want that to happen too, but yeah.
Did coronavirus make you more anxious?
No, not really. I would say it definitely, there was certain days where it got to me. You know, I think I think it's really hard to avoid the anxiety no matter what. Like I don't even watch the news. I don't like the news. I don't like all the third party influence trying to alter my own opinion. But even avoiding that, it's really hard some days because you see everyone struggling, you see everyone going through the same things that you are. So yeah, there were some days where it made me more anxious than I'd like to be. But I think the way that I was raised and the amount of trauma I faced as a kid kind of helped me deal with situations that are difficult or trying. And I think that COVID is one of those things a lot of people don't really know how to deal with because a lot of people don't have that life experience.
Did also any of the protesting or the riots make you any more anxious at all?
Not anxious. I would say angry. When in Indianapolis, that's where I'm from, right? And when you go downtown, you see all these buildings, and almost all the buildings in the entire downtown, all the bottom levels, the floor, the glass is just basically blown out because people have thrown rocks through it, or a bird scooter or a lime scooter, or looted it. It just made me kind of mad to go down and see the way people treated businesses that have been out of business for 6 months already. So
Yeah. It's not right to do that. Besides, they also set them on fire.
yeah, yeah, it went to a whole different level. Sad to watch, and yeah, certainly I'm hoping that gets better rather than right. It looks like it is.
Are you booking any more tour? No, wrong question. Are you excited to tour again?
Oh, I'm so excited. I miss it. I don't know. It's something that you can't really put in words. I guess some days you get kind of sick of playing shows because it's so much work. But when you can't play shows for as long as we've been away, I think now I'm ready to get back out and play some high level shows for people that want to come out. And I think everyone's looking forward to being able to go to events again and not have to worry about coughing or sneezing or just and just because you have to.
Yeah. So yeah, because it makes you have a good feeling when you're gonna tour back in front of like thousands or hundreds of people. Feels good.
It does feel good. It's awesome. I can't wait for that. Yeah, certainly.
Are you booking any more tours for next year?
Um, we talked about it with management. My manager manages a couple other bands as well, like Trapped and just a couple other bands that are kind of like in our genre, but aren't as notable in terms of names yet, but are climbing, same as us. And yeah, I'm I'm ready to tour. I think that we're gonna play some shows. We just don't know exactly what we're doing yet.
Um, who inspired you to do this? Who inspired you to write your music?
Um, I think. Do you know who Rob Thomas is? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know who Adam Gontier is from 3 Days Grace?
No, but I'll search him up.
What'd you say?
No, but I'll search him up.
Oh yeah, you should. So those two bands, so Matchbox 20 and 3 Days of Grace, probably were like the two favorites of mine growing up. There's a lot of like real lyrics and real emotion tied into the music, and the songwriting is very systematic, but also like it's almost like how do I say this? It's almost like formulated. Each track has a very specific sound, and you can tell they purposely made each instrument and instrumental and vocal hook work together on purpose. Like it's very very purposeful. Which that's kind of what inspired the music that I write today. But yeah,
Yeah, they must be really good. I'm gonna search them up and listen to them.
you
Do you,
should check them out.
do you think it is right that everyone is mean to Trap?
Um, no, and sometimes You said to Trapped the band.
Yes.
Um, oh man, I don't necessarily think it's good to be mean to them. I think the guy he's very opinionated. about government policies, and he uses his music platform to talk about it, which is where I think is kind of I think that's kind of messed up. I think you should keep that more personalized in a business setting. Um, but I mean, at the same time, he is bringing back some notoriety. He's been kind of off the map for quite a while, and he's starting to get some attention again. So maybe it's helping. I don't know.
Yeah, let's hope not in the future they will like, oh, I hate the president.
I hope not. I hope not, man. Let's not do that.
But but you will tour with him, correct?
I won't turn down the opportunity. Like, I actually talked to my drummer and he said he wouldn't. And I was like, well, you got to think about what you're doing here. Like, I think that if you can play, I mean, I have nothing against Trapped. You know what I mean? I don't know them personally. And, as long as it's a good experience and we can all get along and everybody has a great time, like I'm more than welcome to be on the shows. And I'd love to. I think that any opportunity you have to get in front of 800 to 1,000 people a night, especially at this point, you should take it, enjoy it, and make some money.
Yeah, that's cool because then because you put music in people's ears and it makes them dance because without music we would just be like, well, time to watch a movie or like they would just be everybody would be bored.
Yeah, and everybody is bored right now. I'm bored. Aren't you bored?
Yes.
I'm sick.
But thanks to artists like you, because of this sort of time, we get to listen to music still, just because of you, artists.
Yeah, you're right. I'm happy to help. Man. I'm glad that I can at least put something out. That's been the goal. I wanted to get something out during this COVID thing so people can listen to music and kind of break the silence a bit.
How do my followers follow you, by the way?
Oh yeah. So they can follow us on Instagram. Pretty much all of our handles or taglines on social media is just at In The A.M band. So they can follow us pretty much anywhere. Instagram's where I post the most. I post a lot on my personal Facebook, but we also have a band page there as well.
Who's the most famous band that you tour with?
Oh, well, that's kind of a good question. So when I was 15, I opened for Framing Hanley. Have you ever heard of Framing Hanley?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, they're a personal favorite of mine, and played a show with them when I was about 15. The night they pulled into the venue, so the venue that we were coming into had a sign that hung down from the top, right? And it came down like this, and it had like a hooked end that came out. So it was kind of shaped like this, right? And the RV they pulled in with had an air conditioning unit, and the air conditioning unit is one of those classic ones that's kind of shaped like this and has like a piece that comes out and around and is kind of off the roof. So when they pulled in that sign, they weren't paying attention. The sign hooked underneath of the air conditioning unit and ripped the roof off of the camper. And we all just like, oh, what? Like, that's not good. So now Framing Hanley will always remember the show that we played with them no matter what, because that was the night their roof got torn off. But that's a big one. We also opened for Red, if you know who Red is. That was a terrible experience. Um, the venue had a bad setup and didn't clear us with the band. They just put us on stage, and they actually pulled us off the stage, like cut our set like 3 songs in.
Imagine just seeing that is that a roof of an RV? And then it just comes flying towards you like, I'm gonna hit ya.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. You should have saw it. It was pretty dramatic. Everybody was just kind of like they didn't know what to do. They're just like dumbfounded. And to answer your question once again, we also play with Saliva. So it's kind of hard to depict who's the biggest of those three. But Saliva's a big band and one of my all time favorites. But yeah, those are the three biggest in my career.
I just heard that they just got back together.
They did. Yeah, Josie Scott is the lead singer, and he he had went off basically the grid for a while in terms of the music world. But he kind of made that band, and he's got this signature vocal that just sounds incredible. But yeah, they're back. I'm pretty excited. They're actually going to tour again, and now it's canceled because of COVID. So they might actually be playing though. I guess I shouldn't say that. They might be on the road right now. I don't know.
Yeah, because 2020 was like the rock star year when all like the old school guys came back.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was gonna be an awesome year. I literally was looking forward to so many shows. There were so many good concerts that were coming through Indianapolis. And there's usually good concerts, but this year was just on a different level. And then now there's no concerts.
I love Lollipop, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's a great cover. That's one of the best. That was an interesting thing. I'm glad you like that. That's funny that you know that song. Um, yeah, that was like the first like rock cover I can think of that got famous. Just as a cover. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it must be like a really fun time doing this, like singing in front of people. Like, do you ever get nervous when you do it? Like that
Oh yeah.
anxious feeling?
Oh yeah. Um, I had somebody ask me this in an interview a couple weeks ago, and I'd say my best word of advice to people who are of age is to just take a shot of whiskey before you go on, and just live for the moment. Live for the. If you don't live to bring an energy to the stage, then I don't know why you do it. You should want to let something out. Give people something to dance to, and I think you should love doing that. So.
What's your advice to new people that might be coming into the new rock world?
Oh, buckle up. That's what I would say. It's an interesting industry now. I think Spotify, not iTunes, but Apple Music, and all these streaming platforms have really changed the way people listen to it. When it comes to CDs, so there's not as much money in the actual music anymore. So if you better learn how to operate a business and learn the different streams of revenue that you can attain. There's a lot of knowledge, and that's not to discourage anyone. I think that it's a great thing to get into, but it's going to take a lot of time, and you have to know that. So
Yeah, because we need advice from good rock star people like you.
well, yeah, man. I hope to give people advice. I try to, and yeah, that's a good question.
What have you been doing during this pandemic besides from writing music?
Oh, well, I've been working a lot. That's for sure. And I watch a lot of Netflix when I have spare time in the middle of the night. I've been watching a lot of The Walking Dead, which is odd, and just kind of learning some new stuff in production in terms of like music production, and kind of I've actually been doing a lot of marketing material too. I used to spend a lot of my time making marketing materials for the band, and um, that takes up quite a bit of time.
Did COVID make you change your business as a rock star?
What was your question? Sorry.
Did COVID make you change your business as a rock star?
Uh, I'm sorry, I couldn't understand the word you said.
Did COVID make you change your business as a rock star?
I'm so sorry, I can't understand the word you're asking me. There's one word in there that I'm not understanding.
COVID didn't make you like change at all for your rock star.
Change. I'm so sorry. Change. Yeah, no. It definitely did. It's definitely changed my perspective on what we're doing and why we're doing it, and um, I don't know. It kind of just opened up my eyes. Like, hey, you need to get to work. So, if that makes sense, you know. So yeah, definitely changed a lot. I think it's changed everybody's perspective.
What will you do after this pandemic? Will you make more songs, or will you just make a couple songs and then you'll just wait for a little while and you make some more songs? Or
Oh, I'm gonna make more. Right now I have 4 tracks done, like 4 cover tracks pretty much finished. So I've been doing a lot of work and not really putting anything out, just trying to build up like a catalog, just to have some stuff to like be consistent, and I think persistence is really important for growth. So that's what we've been doing, and yeah, but we'll definitely get back in and record. We got invited to go down to Sweetwater Studios, probably about what 2 or 3 weeks ago. I don't remember how long ago, somewhere around there, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we're gonna record some stuff there. So that's coming up.
But but you will. Oh wait. Give me a second. Uh, so who will you tour with in the future?
Oh, that's a hard question. There's a lot of people I'd love to tour with. I think it'll probably start with just keeping it to bands more of our size, and just trying to grow with releases and just get out in front of as many people as we can. But it'd be cool to jump on a circuit eventually, like a big one, with some of my favorite bands. I guess we'll see what happens. It's really hard to tell where things are going to go.
Man, hopefully in the future you'll be touring with like a lot of people.
Yeah, I hope so. It's the goal.
So tell me about your shirts and stuff. Are you selling? Where can I buy my? Where can my fans buy it?
Yeah. So if you go to www.intheamband.com, we have a store up. Now, right now, there's not any products on the store. I've kind of I have an entire catalog built out. I just want to release things kind of slowly but surely and give each product time. Let people see what we have. And there's a lot of stuff like so. In the next week, you'll be able to buy a hat and a sweatshirt. You can buy that all in the store, and eventually there's a couple T-shirts that are done already. They're going to go up. So there's a lot of stuff coming. There's just not much up currently.
Yeah, hopefully in the future a lot of people will buy your merch because we need to support more people like artists like you that actually risk their time and actually write music for people like during this sort of time. So we need to really support you kind of artist.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. That's cool. I think that people do want to support. So and I appreciate anybody who listens and is willing to support. Like we need it. It's not an easy thing to do and grow at. So yeah, I appreciate that a lot.
Uh, it's been a really good interview. I hope one day we can hang out backstage when you play a concert. Listen to your new song, Backseat, and I really liked it. Thank you for interviewing, and hopefully I can meet you in the future.
Yeah, very welcome, Jam. We'll definitely have to hang out, man. I appreciate you taking the time to do this.
You're welcome.
All right, buddy.
Bye.
All right, see you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.